there's a meeting in the ladies' room with master guitarist of the legendary girls funk band Climax, featuring CHERYL Unruly COOLEY.
Up, ladies. I'm so excited right now. I can't tell you. Oh my gosh. So Miss CHERYL Unruly COOLEY joining us on this edition of BaySickTalk. We have a surprise for you. We've been practicing, right, Nikki?
Uh-oh. Yes, we have.
Hit it, girl.
Yes, we have.
If you LOVE me, love me.
If you LOVE me,
Love me. We got some work to do, but you know, if you ever,
it's a little raw. It's raw.
Miss CHERYL, if you ever needed us to stand in, she is laughing out loud. Seriously, that's some good stuff. That's good stuff. Welcome to the show.
Okay, thank you. Such a greeting. I'm overwhelmed. Thank you.
I bet you never had one like that, Nikki.
Whoa, got that right.
All female band.
Yeah.
1979.
Yep.
Miss CHERYL COOLEY made the decision, made the command decision, although against her better judgment, that she would go to that rehearsal.
Oh yeah.
Take us from that moment, Miss COOLEY. What was that like? Because it almost didn't happen.
Yeah, a few times it almost didn't happen. And you know, that's why in my life, I believe that there is a divine destiny, because there's been too many times I've made a wrong turn. and the universe is just aligning out. No, you got to come over here. So, you know, I had to realize I had just finished college. I had my music college degree, and I stepped into a rehearsal room of, these young women that really had a great energy, enthusiasm to have a band. But it was just that the technical skills, the musical education wasn't there. And I was fearful that, in my, early 20 mind, I guess you could say, or teenage mind, I was thinking I was taking a step backwards, because I had been involved in male bands that were, top-notch professionals. And then here I am with this all-female band, kind of like a garage band.
Right.
But the enthusiasm, the heart, the love, the fun was there. And that's really what drew me to stay there. Now, seriously, that was my first rehearsal. I was like, I got to tell them I'm not coming. But I was so scared to hurt their feelings, I couldn't tell them. So I said, okay, I'll see you at the next rehearsal. And so, going back, and I realized, okay, so let me use what I know about music to try to help everybody else. So, I wrote out the charts and everything and then passed them all out. And of course, that's when I realized, oh, that's right, they can't read. So instead of saying, oh, you can't read, I said, well, maybe I wrote something wrong. Let me just play it along with you so we can, get the song learned. And so that's really how, we worked together. There was no, well, you can't do this or you should do this. It was about teaching each other.
Wow.
So we worked together on the sound. We, did some top 40 songs that were current at the time. And, we tried to go out and get some auditions at clubs and stuff. And we only really were able to do what they call like a talent night.
Mm-hmm.
And, we it's like you walk in, you sign up and go for it, and so we signed up and they were like, well, what are you guys going to do? And we said, well, we're an all-female band, so can we use the house band's instruments? And so the band leader was like, no, you girls are not touching our instruments. You all don't even look like you can play. The drummer went to the club owner and, negotiated or begged and pleaded or whatever she said. And so the club owner went to the band leader and said, go ahead, let's give these girls a chance. Maybe we'll have a good laugh.
Right.
It came time for us to play and they let us use their instruments. And if I remember correctly, the songs that we did at the time were Ladies Night by Kool and the Gang, I'm a Woman by Rufus, and some other top song that was out at that time. And the whole club was just silent, just like standing there in awe, like, these girls can really play.
Because dumbfounded. I mean, their mouths are just wide open. I can imagine.
Yeah, exactly, because they had never seen that before. They had never seen a bunch of women, especially a woman on drums, a woman on bass, guitar. I mean, it's like, that is just so, you can see a woman on piano, but, bass and drums and guitars, like, what in the world? And they sound good.
Wow.
And they're pretty.
Right, exactly, We continued to practice, and trying to get club gigs, but we were never really successful in breaking in the club circuit. However, I was working in a bank, and I was telling my supervisor about this all-girl band I'm in, and she said, well, if you give me a demo tape and a picture, I'll give it to my uncle. He's a producer for Peeble Bryson. His name is Johnny Pate. Peeble Bryson and Minnie Ripperton. And so we made up this demo tape, and we went to a 8-track studio. That's all you could get back in there if you didn't have a.
I remember. I'm young enough to remember.
So okay. So the part that I kind of missed was that my musical skill or training or my inspiration was that. My sister was married to a jazz musician by the name of Hubert Laws, and that's how I really got started in music, because he happened to have his guitar. He's a flautist, but he had a guitar at my parents' home, and I had a toy guitar, and so I played some little funny-looking song, and my sister jumped up and said, let's get Cheryl some guitar lessons. Well, being the fact that I hung around Hubert Laws and all these jazz musicians, I kind of learned how to put a band together, or how to put the music together, I should say.
Right.
So I knew going into the studio, because I had been in the studio, visiting studio with Hubert, I really kind of knew what to do and what to expect putting this demo tape together. So this is what we gave Johnny Pate, and he listened to it and he didn't like it.
What's wrong with Johnny?
What? I'm sitting here biting my nails listening to the story, like, what's next?
Right?
Shame on you, Johnny. Shame on you.
But now here's the kid. Now, the thing I always say when I get to this point in the story is, when one door closes, that does not mean another door won't open.
Hallelujah. Amen.
Because he happened to be having lunch one day with the vice president of Solar Records, Margaret Nash. And he said, I know about this all-girl band. Here's their tape and here's their picture. I don't think they're all that good, but maybe you could do something with it. And for her, so she brought the president of the company of Solar Records, Dick Griffey. And I'm telling you, we were signed to Solar Records within months.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing. So
that's some origination for you right there.
Yeah, like I said, it really had to have been divinely ordered, because there was so many things that fell into place for us. Just being signed to Solar, though there were, it wasn't a big company, but it was big enough to be able to pay attention to each and every artist and promote, the artists. And it was a family. So if, some of the artists that were on the label was, Lakeside, Midnight Star, Shalimar, The Whispers, Dynasty, The Deal. So, if one of us was in the studio, maybe another one of the artists would come in and say, hey, why don't you guys try this? So they were always teaching us. When we first, signed to Solar, they were all willing to come to our rehearsals. Different artists that would come to our rehearsals and, tell us what would work on stage and what wouldn't work on stage, what would work in the studio. So it was really a family affair. I mean, I'm so glad that we were signed to a label like Solar, signed to a label like Solar so that we could really get some individual attention.
When you were, never underestimate the power of a woman, was 1981.
Right.
I was barely 10. Girls Will Be Girls, 1982. Girls in the Band, 1983. Meeting in the Ladies' Room, 1984. This is Men All Pause. This is RIAA Gold certified. And you were girls doing it. You were girls doing this. How hard was it to get or garner the respect that you knew you deserved coming in? How hard was that fight for you?
Well, it's interesting because we didn't know, how do I put this? Well, we were too naive to think that we were ever being disrespected at any time. Because we were just so excited to be there. If somebody was disrespecting us, it was like, oh, well, let's go to the next one. Yeah. We were just so excited to be there. And again, the fact that we could actually play our instruments, we weren't just learning, we weren't just fumbling. We really could master our instruments. That gave us a lot of respect. It, really earned us a lot of respect. And the fact that we could get on stage and perform just as hard as the male bands, it's like, oh, okay, these girls really are musicians.
So I know you unruly on your instrument. Who gave you that nickname?
Oh, the lead vocalist, Lorena. She gave me that because, I'm calm and quiet at rehearsal, and all of a sudden when I get on stage, it's a whole nother person. So she called me Unruly Cooley.
Quick shout out to Miss Lorena Stewart for that.
That's right. Yeah, she gave me that. So it kind of stuck.
So this is 1981. Never underestimate the power of a woman. Did you know at that time, I know you knew the music was important and your presence in music was important. Did you know you were making history? Did it feel like you were making history?
Nope.
You were just having fun. You were just having fun.
Yep, that's it.
Followed up with Girls Will Be Girls in 1982. Girls in the Band, 1983. Meeting in the Ladies' Room. Share with our audience, with our BaySickTalk audience, because you can tell it way better than me. Tell us how this experience became a song.
Okay, so, like I said, one of our label mates was Midnight Star. Freakazoid, the No Parking on the Dance Floor band.
Oh, yeah.
And one of the guys in the band, his girlfriend was at a club, partying, enjoying themselves. And then one of the girls in Climax walked in the club and recognized him and ran over, because we're all new label mates and everything, ran over and hugged and kissed him. And the girlfriend was like jealous, like, well, who is this strange woman coming over hugging and kissing you? I don't know anything about this. Who is she? And then she was so upset that she got up from the table and walked away and went to the ladies' room. So the Midnight Star guy thought, God, that's a great idea for a song. In the ladies' room.
And he was right. Oh my gosh. This was such an iconic song, and all your songs are great, but this was such an iconic song and video that Saturday Night Live did a take on it. And it was just, they say that imitation is the best form of flattery. And I don't know that the group was flattered. Have you seen it? Have you seen the Meeting in the Ladies' Room skit, the spoof on that video that you guys did? When I say they nailed it, from the wigs, the hair, the movements, everything. It was classic. But I want to know your take. Have you seen it, and what's your take on it?
Yeah, I've seen it, and I have one major complaint. Okay. One major, big, huge complaint.
Tell us about it, Auntie Cheryl. Tell us.
It is humongous, my complaint. Okay. I do not play bass. They had two basses. No band has two basses. It's a bass and a guitar.
A bass and a guitar.
I was much unhappy with the fact that they gave my character a bass.
That's a line in the song, Nikki, if you didn't catch it. She says, I'm much, much, much unhappy about that. That was classic. I like that. I hear you, Cheryl. I hear you. I feel you.
Yes, I am much, much unhappy about that.
I love it.
Can you take us inside of a Climax rehearsal? What was the flow like? What was the creativity like?
Oh, well, like I said, we were having fun. We didn't, I almost want to say we didn't know it was work. We didn't know it was work because it was fun. It was, for me, it was a dream come true. I remember as a kid, I had a dream about, even before I played guitar, because I saw, bands playing guitars on TV. But I had a dream of me being on stage, playing guitar, getting ready to step up to the microphone while playing guitar and sing my first note. And I remember looking over to my right at the band, thinking, God, that's kind of odd. Well, anyway, let's keep singing. So fast forward, I don't know, maybe 15 years or whatever. We're performing at the Olympic Auditorium in Los Angeles, California. The music is going, the lights are going. I'm getting ready to step up to the microphone and sing my first note. And I thought, oh my God, deja vu. The dream is getting ready to come true. And so I said, but what was it about the band when I looked to my right that I couldn't understand in the dream? So I looked to my right and I looked at the band, and it was an all-female band. So dreams do come true. I mean, for my life, definitely they come true. I saw it in a vision. I don't know, daymare, nightmare, whatever your belief system is, and it actually came true. Being in a rehearsal, being in a Climax rehearsal, it's work. We have a focus. We know what we want to sound like, but we still have fun at it. We still make it fun. So we really enjoy playing the music, playing for the audience. It's a dream come true. It's a dream come true. Even these many years later, when I get up, I mean, there's a lot of stress involved sometimes getting to that point, but once I get on stage, it's like,
it just all melts away.
Yep, this is what it's all about right here.
If we could ask you, and I don't know that I've heard this in an interview with you, Miss Cooley, if we could ask you, and if there is one, what is your all-time favorite Climax song or album?
The song Divas Need Love Too. That's my favorite song. The sultry groove of it, yeah, it's in B flat minor, but hey, I'll take it.
And you know what? I'm gonna take your word for that B flat minor. I don't really know what that sounds like, but I'm gonna take your word for it. If you could, for our listeners, if there's one, your most cherished Climax memory would be what?
Okay, so picture this. We're on stage, we're singing the song I Miss You. We're all in the moment, our eyes are closed, the audience is involved and singing along, and they're just, really swaying side to side. The lead vocalist is getting ready to hit the high note. She reaches her hand out, and all of a sudden she feels something fall on her hand. So we all kind of hear a little stumble, in her voice when this happens. So we open up our eyes and we look to see what fell on her hand, and a nice young man fan decided to throw his Fruit of the Looms on her hand.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
No. When she looks at her hand and realizes they're still hanging there, so she throws them down. So then we're looking, we're laughing, we're trying to find out where it's coming from. So then he throws another pair.
He got a pack of them. He got the 5
That's the pack. That's the pack, Nikki. That's the pack. That's the 3-pack.
At Walmart.
So then finally we see who it is, and he has the third pair still in the package, showing they're new and clean, and he just threw them up on the stage again.
Lord. I guess he said women do it. I just want them to know I love them.
Yeah.
And a good time was had by all.
You think about some of the male artists that, women throw things up on the stage at them. So, I guess you could almost say he's paying homage in the same way.
Right.
So,
and you ladies took it in stride. That's good stuff.
Exactly. So, in that whole idea, what we do now is that we go out and, get some pink panties, we stamp Climax on them, and we throw them out to the audience.
Awesome.
Yeah.
If you could compare music styles from when you were getting started to now, and you had to grade these artists on originality, performance, and overall branding, comparing to coming up the hard way, doing it the real way, real musicianship, is there anything that you would like to see more of or less of?
I'm going to get slightly political here.
Okay.
What I would like to see is that there be more training in schools and community centers in how to play real instruments. We are in the effect of the cause that our good friend Bill Clinton signed into law in 1996, where he deregulated the entertainment business, where the schools no longer, I mean, it's all part of it, but his thing was deregulating the entertainment business.
Mm-hmm.
A sidebar of that, the schools stopped investing in music education for whatever reason, whether there's budget or they felt that it wasn't a career that people could, live a lifetime off of. All those factors have watered down the real basis of having a good musical education, which is why we have the sound that we have now, which is why people can't play instruments, which is why people, sing with auto-tune, which is why, we as a society are suffering from the effects of all those causes that, drained all of the musical creativity out of music. This is what we're experiencing now. There could be a lot of people at fault, but as a whole, as a society, we have taken the value out of learning how to actually play, learn, study real music, music theory, how music works in the world, and scientifically, the sounds that we hear from music really does affect our psyche.
You're absolutely right.
So we're hearing all of these sounds coming out of what is now called music, and it's starting to affect the human psyche, which of course affects other things. Whether you want to say it's, crime, hate, or, domestic violence, whatever that negative output is, music has contributed to that vibration of what we are constantly bombarded with in our ears, in our hearts, in our souls. I mean, we not only listen to music in our ears, we're listening to music with our body. Mm. And all those tension vibrations of music that we're listening to now are making an effect on us mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually.
Mm.
Mm.
I felt that in my spirit. I did.
Look, I'm sitting here just checking myself.
And you know what? I just wanted to say, even though I've never recorded, I just want to say I'm sorry.
Whatever I did.
Well,
I don't want to listen to it no more. Turn it off. Turn it off.
Well, I will say there's another part of my life where I'm actually in ministry. Now, let me say this.
I sense that. I did sense that. I sensed that.
I didn't go voluntarily. I'm going to always say that. I didn't go voluntarily. But I do work in a ministry, and yes, I have the whole collar thing and all of that. And really, what I've experienced in music, what I've studied about metaphysics, what I've studied about spirituality, all of that I mix together when I'm doing an interview like this. If there's an opportunity for me to relate music to how it's going to uplift somebody spiritually, mentally, emotionally, I'm going to take it. And I thank you for having me on to even say that, because for me, it's such a natural thing to talk about. And a lot of times people only want to hear, I just want to hear about the music, just want to hear about the music. But really, it all ties together.
Yeah, I believe it.
Yeah.
It emanates from us in its purest form, in its most genuine form, when it's done with craftsmanship woven into it. Not some of this stuff that they're mass producing just to turn a buck. But real musicianship is what you're about. It's at the heart of what you do. It speaks to our souls, and we are so grateful. If we have not said that to you enough, thank you.
Ah, you're welcome.
Could you,
Aw.
for our listening audience, advice for aspiring artists? These are some core things, some core values you must embody.
You know, a lot of these old school artists that are out here, they have to perform because they didn't see the long vision. They didn't put money aside. I always tell young artists, new artists, I don't know, get a piggy bank, get a bank account, put money aside. It is so important because there's going to be dry times and there's going to be lucrative times.
You're on tour now, or you're preparing for a tour.
You know, we've experienced the pandemic, so of course the music industry has kind of shut down. Entertainment industry has kind of shut down. So, you know, unfortunately, we haven't had as many shows this year as we have had in previous years. But we are preparing to do a pay-per-view show September 12th. And that information is on our website, KLYMAXX.com. So I'm really looking forward to this show because it's going to be a new experience. We're not going to really have an audience, but, you know, we're going to have cameras looking at us, and we know people are going to be on the other side of those cameras watching the show. So we're really looking forward to this show that we're going to be filming for pay-per-view September 12th. Also along with us is going to be Lakeside, Confunction, Yarbroughs and Peoples, and Billy Williamson along with Climax. So I'm really looking forward to it. The band is really excited. You know, we're in rehearsals with it. And so that's going to be a new experience to do pay-per-view. And then we're also going to be doing a pay-per-view for the Breast Cancer Society, for American Breast Cancer Society in October 17th, because October is Breast Cancer Month. Mm-hmm. So we're being supported by the Breast Cancer Society to, you know, get out there and perform. And we're going to be actually doing a tour for them probably 2021.
Oh, good stuff. Good stuff.
The whole experience of Climax has been a life journey that I wouldn't trade for the world. The up moments, the down moments, the learning moments, the crying moments, the happy moments. It has been a journey that I could have never asked more for. The powers that be, the universe, God, whatever you believe, has given me the opportunity to play music, learn music. I mean, there was nobody in my family that played a musical instrument. You know, it's just like, okay, Cheryl, this is your assignment right here. And, you know, I was given the opportunity to learn how to play music, learn music, write music. And it set me off on a life journey that took me to so many destinations I could not have ever written down on a piece of paper and said, this is what I want to do in life. Because the script was basically already divinely written for me. And I am so grateful for that. So grateful. I look back at my life because I recently had a birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
We auditioning again. Hold on. Is that what? Oh.
Hey, you gotta get it when you can get it.
My bad.
You know.
My bad. You gotta let me know. If it was a solo act, if we were doing this together, I missed my cue.
Oh gosh!
Happy belated birthday, Miss Cheryl Cooley.
Well, thank you. Yes, it's definitely been a life journey, a musical life journey that I have so enjoyed, and I appreciate you coming to talk to me about it. I'm so honored that people are still interested, really. That warms my heart that I must be doing something good because, you know, you're coming to ask me about it. The audience and the fans are still listening to my story. And if I've encouraged anybody, inspired anybody, then that's really all I could ever ask to be. The ultimate gift of life is to be an inspiration to someone.
The test of time, understanding For more information on CHERYL Unruly COOLEY and Climax, please visit www.climax.com.
Hey TJ, you know I can sing a little bit. I'll be back real soon. Hey, there's a meeting in the ladies'